Hello students, welcome back to the another video lecture of ADA subject. In second unit, previously we have studied about efficient algorithm, average case, best case and worst case analysis. Now, in this topic, we are going to learn about asymptotic notations, big O notation, omega notation and theta notation. So let's start with asymptotic notation. So asymptotic notation is used in computer science to describe the performance or complexity of an algorithm. Previously we have discussed complexity, which were time complexity and space complexity. So for describing that complexities, we will use our asymptotic notations. With help of that notations, we can analyze the runtime performance of algorithm. Runtime performance is like best case, worst case and average case that we already studied in previous lecture. So here notations are used to describe the asymptotic. Asymptotic means approximate running time of an algorithm by defining a time function fn where n is the input size. So what we will say that we will generate a function fn. In that fn we will put our input size, which will be n. So by analyzing that function on the basis of our best case, worst case and average case, we will know that different time cases for our time complexity, and from that we will find our running time of algorithm. So best case, worst case and average case, we already know that minimum time required by algorithm, that will be our best case, maximum time required, that will be our worst case, and average time will include best case, worst case as well as different cases of all possible in algorithm. So with the help of asymptotic notation, we can compute the performance of various algorithms, and such an analysis is independent of machine time, programming style, etc. So in this analysis, it will be not dependent on to machine time and programming style. Okay, so that are the three main asymptotic notations. First one is big O, second one is omega, and third one is theta. So here keep in mind that big O will be give you worst case of your algorithm, and it will be in upper bound. Second one is omega, that will be for the best case of algorithm, and it will be in lower bound. And theta, last notation, will be of average case, and it will be of tight bound. So in next slides we will know about what is upper bound, what is lower bound and what is tight bound. Okay, so let's start with big O notation. So this notation is used to express the upper bound of an algorithm running time. It represents worst case of an algorithm time complexity, and the example is the longest amount of time an algorithm can possibly take to complete. So to understand this big O operation, we have an example. But for going with an example, first we will know a simple definition of big O function. A function fn is equal to big O of gn. Here a function fn is equal to big O of g of n is there exists a value of positive integer n and n0 and positive constant c such that ffn less than or equal to c into g of n for all n greater than or equal to n0. Hence, function g of n is an upper bound for function fn. So this is little bit tricky to understand, but just focus on our first thing, which is given f of n is equal to big O of g of n. Means we have a function f of n. It can be of order of g of n, where our f of n is less than or equal to c into g of n, and in that c as a positive constant. Also g of n will be multiplied with the c. So if this happens, means our function value is less than or equal to multiplication of c and g of n. So we can say that function g of n is upper bound for function f of n. Let's understand it with an example. For example, our f of n is 2n plus 3. So for the function 2n plus 3, we have to find a value that is greater than or equal to 2n plus 3. Means we have to put a value here. So this statement can be right. Means if we put some values which is greater than or equal to this value, then this equation will be right. So putting that value, we have to keep in mind that our function f of n is less than or equal to c into g of n. So we will require here two things. First one is c and second one is gn. So we have put here 7n. So for checking 2n plus 3 is less than or equal to 7n, if we put our n is equal to 1 here, so our value will be 2 plus 3 less than or equal to 7. So 2 plus 3 5 less than or equal to 7. This will be true. So we can put here our value 7n. So here in this equation we can say that for all n greater than or equal to 1, this statement will be true. If we put n is equal to 1, then our equation is 5 less than or equal to 7. If we put n is equal to 2, so our equation will be 7 less than or equal to 14. So it is also true. Then we can say for all n greater than or equal to 1, this statement will be true. So again here this 2 plus n plus 3, it is our fn, 7 is our c, and n is our g of n. So as this statement suggests, we can write our f of n is equal to omega of big O of n order. Okay, Now, your questions will be, can we put only 7 here? So, no, we can put any number here, but it can generate a true result of this statement. For example, if we put 5 in place in case of 7 here, so let's check for n is equal to 1. So for n is equal to 1, 2 plus 3 less than or equal to 5. So 5 less than or equal to 5, it is true. So we can write here 5 in place of 7 also. Another example, can we write 4 instead of 7? So here our 2 plus 3 less than or equal to 4. So 5 less than or equal to 4, this is false. So we cannot write here and C is equal to 4. Keep in mind that this statement must be true after putting our C and N's value. Okay, so our next question will be, can I write 2n plus 3 less than or equal to 5n square? So let's check it. If 2n plus 3 less than or equal to 5n square, if we put our n is equal to 1, so it will be 5 less than or equal to 5. So that is true. If we put n is equal to 2, so it will be 4 plus 3 means 7 less than or equal to 4 into 5 means 20. So it is again true. So we can write that 2n plus 3 less than or equal to 5n square. So in that our 2n plus 3 will be our fn. In 5n square our 5 will be our c, n square will be our g of n. So we can write function fn is equal to big O of n square. So we can write function is of big O of n, function is of big O of n square. So we can write our function is in 2n plus 3. So it is order of our n, and it is also of our this series, means we have a series here which is 1 less than log n less than under root n less than n less than n log n less than n square up to n raised to n. So in this case we can say our smallest term is n and our biggest term is n square. So if our function is of order of n, then for our big O notation it will be true for the all the upper bounds, means it will be true for n log n, it will be true for n square, it will be true for 3 raised to n, but we will use only that number or only that g of n which is closer to the our function, means our function is 2n plus 3, its order is n, so we will use our big O notation for n order only. Upper bounds are right for them, but we will not use that upper bounds, we will use only the nearest number to the our n. So in this series, this is lower bound for n, and middle n means this n is our average bound. So Here n to n raised to n suggests the upper bound, 1 to n suggests the lower bound, and only n suggests the average bound, or we can say tight bound in this series. Okay students, so this is for big O notation. In another video lecture, we will understand how the omega notation and our theta notation is work for our best case and our average case. Thank you students.